Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Bolts. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away go for the first time. Nicholas Porcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Doms, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now, as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Backmarkers Racing League Brobst Enterprises Truck Series. Tonight, our drivers take on 125 laps of door-to-door action at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have a cool night ahead of us at 68 degrees and a track temp of 70, with a slow northwest wind of 3 miles per hour. As we finish up qualifying, it looks like Tyler DeTalent is currently sitting on pole.
All right, we have myself, Robert Brobst, doing race control and commentating tonight alongside of Corey Harville. And on pole, we have Michael Boyles in the number 22 Impact Racing truck. And alongside him, Tyler DeTalente in the number 29. On row 2, we have Ryan Nardone with Peter D. Stewart in his ever so prevalent Cinnamon Toast Crunch paint schemes. Starting 5th, we have Thomas Harkins alongside of Dylan Johnson. On row 4, we have Michael Gudger, last week's winner, who put on quite the show at Nashville alongside of Nick Serif, the biggest fan of Bass Pro Shops that I know. And then starting in 9th, we have the 11 truck of Brian Brobst, our race and league sponsor, with his Brobst Enterprises ride that's based off of his dirt modified that he races on the weekends. Alongside of him, we have the 44 of Bob Belshaw. And then in row 6, we have Kenny Truton in the very pretty pink and teal number 25 truck, alongside of AJ Malio. And then on that final row, we have Clifton Simmons alongside should be Jackson Samsel. And we're about to roll off pit road and get rolling here for our 125 lap event. We'll ignore that Harville guy at the bottom there.
I'm a Ghost Rider tonight in the lobby. So as we wait for our pace laps, Robert, what are your expectations for this race tonight?
I loaded up and I ran some practice laps while the rest of the guys were doing some practice, just to see what the track would be like. And also to check some things like tire wear and fuel, so I could, have an educated discussion while I sit here and watch us unfold. And this track tonight, it is an ice rink, and the setup is pretty loose. So I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting to see a couple yellows, and we're going to have some airspace to fill with just conversation, I feel. But hopefully I'm wrong, and these boys just, take their time, and we see a lot of green flag racing. What do you think? You in the same vein?
I have the same expectations. The trucks, they seem to get a little loose in the long run. Tight track, we're going to see a lot of door-to-door action going around these tracks, especially on these longer runs. These trucks might get a little hard to control after, 30, 40 laps.
I mean, they were hard to control on lap 1, turn 1. So I imagine they won't be any better by then.
As our pace truck comes off our front row rounds turn 3.
And then we're waiting for old Barney the flagman to give the boys the green. There it is, green, green, green.
And we are under green.
Yes. Michael Boyles gets the jump.
Over Tyler DeTalent.
We'll get synchronized eventually, I promise. Oh, Harkins in the back, sideways. Good save.
And we have a tight-knit battle up front with Michael Boyles, Ryan Nardone, and Tyler DeTalent. Forming a small little triangle going down the front stretch.
And that groove that Nardone is in is the one that I kind of expect based on the way this truck was feeling making laps earlier. Oh, I hear tire squeal.
We are under yellow. Bob Belshaw.
Oh, it's the 44 of Bob Belshaw. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, and it seems Belshaw just gets loose going into turn 3, just as you were saying.
Oh, it looks like everybody manages to get by him without hitting him. I'm not sure if Maglio did or did not, but I'm pretty sure they're all good.
It seems to be a relatively damage-free caution.
Producer put us on board to make me a liar, I bet. Ah, look at that. I was right. So insult to injury in here in Backmarkers. If you cause the yellow, you get a end of line, tail end of the longest line. So even though he's already in last, I had to issue an end of line penalty.
I had been a victim of those end of line penalties, and they are pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie.
They really make you feel bad about yourself. I've got a few myself. Now those penalties, they don't stack. That's just the standard penalty. Different leagues we have, our Monday night late model league, we have cause 2 cautions and get parked for the night rule. But for this league, or for our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we don't have that particular rule because the cautions have been reasonable. So we just had a radio call with Michael Boyles saying he was going to take the outside for the restart. We allowed the front row and the pole sitter or the leader rather, to select what lane they want to be in. So he's elected the outside to restart. In that 22 Impact Racing truck.
So a few short laps to start the race, but it does give our drivers a nice little taste of how these trucks are going to handle throughout the night.
Oh, for sure. Oh. I don't think we had any takers on pit road. All right.
And the lights are off on the pace car as we go 1 to go. Our drivers sorting themselves out down the field, getting in position. Pace truck is off, and Michael Boyles will make the final turn, heading towards the Geico restart zone.
All right. Hopefully Michael's able to behave himself tonight. He was, at race 1, he was a bit out of hand with his restarts. And he has a good restart there. Actually, I had to give him an end-of-line penalty for jumping the restart one time after I gave him a warning. Oh, somebody's on the wall. No incident, though. We stay green. Oh. Oh, Budger. That is quite the stack up.
Oh,
Let's
yeah, some
see.
position battles going down the
Oh,
front stretch between Michael Gudger and
looks
Dylan
like
Johnson.
Dylan didn't know he was out there, or
Just squeezed him up
ignored
towards
his
the wall
spotter
and
saying
making
car high.
contact. Oh, and a hard hit
Yeah.
by Michael Gudger right into the wall.
Yeah, he's got to be happy to have a faster pair right now.
Yeah, it seems Dylan just moves up ever so slightly, pushing Gudger into the wall and just losing control of his truck.
Look at that 11 truck just miss, luckily. It's a real interesting issue to have, because those guys are currently in the same voice chat with each other over in the Vintage Racing channel.
Well, I'm sure there's some pleasantries being thrown back and forth between the two.
Pleasantries,
mention-
unpleasantries.
You did mention we do have a fast repair, but I can't believe that Michael Gudger would be too happy about using it this early in the race. We still have 114 laps to go.
Oh, no one should be happy to you have to use it in lap 10. But yeah, you just be happy to have it, and then race ultra conservative and careful for a long time, and hope you don't get caught up in something else. Looks like we're gonna have to give the 2 of Dylan Johnson the EOL for being unaware of his surroundings there. Wait for them guys to cycle through pit road and everything. That way it's nice and clean, and iRacing doesn't have a glitch or an error on us.
He's getting ready for the long run. He says this is it.
Yeah, Boyles is clutching her out and saving gas. Somebody in the back of the pack is at full rev burning some fuel, so everyone's got a different strategy, it sounds like. And the things you pick up on just by listening, right?
Yeah, one thing I did not check in practice was fuel load. Can they make it the entire race on a tank of fuel?
Oh, happily. They've got 180 laps of fuel for a 125 lap race. So if somebody's in the back here just revving up and burning gas, they're probably doing it right compared to the fuel save of Michael Boyles. And Boyles just came across the radio and announced he's taking the outside for this restart once again. We tried to do the choose cone for a while like NASCAR does, but people were overly confused and
Yeah, a big
didn't
part of
quite
that was
understand.
The iRacing overlay still telling you which lane they were quote unquote
Yeah.
supposed to be in.
Ignoring that is a challenge,
It's kind of
especially
against
if
our
you're
nature here on ice racing.
Yeah. especially if you're used to following it to the letter, right?
We live by the overlay, we die by the overlay. Pace car is
Looks
off.
like-
We are going into turn 3.
Looks like Nardone
Boyle
spun the
getting ready to
tires.
restart.
Oh. Fantastic recovery coming through 1 and 2 for Nardone after the tires spin on the takeoff. I think he might take the lead out of 4. What do you think?
Nardone in the bottom coming out of turn 4. Well, Boyle's with a run down the front stretch, holding his own. Nardone seems to get in front of Boyles, closing that door.
Yep.
Not letting him by, taking the preferred line, going into turn 3. Somewhat comfortably into the lead.
I was thinking that lane that Nardone's riding in is going to be what you should call the preferred lane, just because the way the setup felt making laps.
Oh, and Boyles with a slight dive to the inside, trying to make a move. But Nardone
Oh,
with
he's
just
not
too
going to
much
let him
speed.
go. Yeah. I've got a slightly different camera view on my other screen here. It is pretty amazing to watch as they come down the straightaway out of the corner. How many people are absolutely sideways exiting these corners? There's a lot of saves happening every single lap. Some people twice a lap.
And Ryan Nardone with a 0.4 second lead. Excuse me. We'll take a look at Michael Gudger slowly working his way back up through the field after that hard hit that he took on that last caution. Currently in 9th place, 2 positions off from the starting position.
Yeah, he's went and got himself a fresh set of tires and a brand new truck, and he's going to be making use of it, I guess.
As he is hunting down Thomas Harkins.
It's got places to be, man. Oh, somebody's in the wall. It was a 25 true.
Oh, and some hard hits on
Harkins just slammed to the wall on the exit of 2 there. That was
Gudger making a move.
that
to
was
the
a big
outside.
hit.
Truck's getting a little squirrely coming off the turn, and you can see the beautiful IRP stripes on Thomas Harkins' truck. I expect we're going to see quite a few of those tonight.
Oh, I imagine those will be a common occurrence among the field, or throughout the field, rather, not among.
I have noticed that the exit of turn 3 and turn 4 gets deceptively tight as you accelerate.
See, the normal line. The normal line at IRP is you're up by the fence, so it's more of a straight shot, but the way this setup is working for these boys, they're having to drive a different line. And then we're checking in on one of our big movers here, the 11 of Brian Brobst. He's made his way up into 5th from his 9th place starting spot. Just hunting down, making laps, following Peter Stewart. I've raced with Peter for many events. That man is one, you're not going to rattle his cage, and he's not very often to make an error, that 91. Which isn't what you always want to hear. It's like, man, I just want to pass him.
Yeah,
But
you
you gotta-
get a little frustrated spending 10, 20 laps behind that Cinnamon Toast Crunch truck.
With the characters mocking you, you know?
Just staring deeply into your soul, letting you know that you're not
Get an
gonna pass
onboard
him.
on that 11, we could see him. We can't quite see him, but... Okay, come on, Brian, get a run. Let's get a look at them things.
It looks like Ryan Nardone has pulled out to almost a second lead over Michael Boyles.
Yeah, you have to wonder if Michael has just decided to go into tire save mode, or if he just really just has nothing for him. I feel like tire save mode is what Michael's up to. He might be doing a no-stop strategy, you know?
He does have Tyler to Talent right behind him. I can't imagine he'd be saving too much.
Tyler to Talent should be, if I'm not mistaken, our points leader, actually.
Slight correction, with our 2 drops, Ryan Nardone currently sits first in points.
Yes.
He is 3 points ahead of Steve Loving and Christopher Pendell, rounding out our podium. Tyler DeTalent, with 42 points, currently sits in 4th place.
Yeah. My memory must be tagged to the no drops then. You know, sometimes you can have too much data to look at, and that is my current state.
As we continue to watch the second place battle between Michael Boyle and Tyler DeTalent, Ryan Nardone has pulled away 1.3 seconds ahead of the field. Just every lap just seems to be pulling further and further away. You can only imagine how much tire he's actually using, because it seems the rest of the field is running at a pretty steady pace.
He's making laps that are still pretty much qualifying pace among most of the field here. So I imagine if he is managing to save tire, it ain't much.
We have a battle for 5th place as Kenny Troughton chasing down Brian Brobst.
Oh, he's not chasing him. He's caught him.
He's making a move to the
Oh.
inside.
Oh.
Oh no, and Kenny Troughton spins. Saves it coming down the front stretch.
He tried to spin.
A little bit of a commentator's curse there. Sorry about that, Kenny.
That's unfortunate.
Luckily he didn't fall too hard, but it does seem Michael Gudger has made his way to 8th position. Not too
On
far
board
off
that
from
LSU
top 5.
truck. Looks like Gudger is settled in here, just riding around in 8th.
It does seem like we've had a decent spread on our field currently. Seems like most people are single line, riding that preferred line. They're trying to knock out some laps, trying to get to the end of this race as quick as possible.
Ooh, that 25, she's still a little evil. Oh, he's in the wall.
Oh, Troughton into the wall, slowing down, allowing Gudger to make the pass on the inside. Gudger not completely clear.
Not easily, though. He fought back. Gotta run. Uh-oh.
Troughton is hanging on, not allowing Gudger to close that door on him.
Making Gudger look like him.
Coming out of the turn.
Gudger looking like him from a couple laps ago. That's not where the pit road entry is, boys.
While they're battling for 6th, has allowed Brian Brobst to pull away. He is now a little under 1.5 seconds.
25
in this
truck.
battle for 6th. I would imagine that truck is getting a little hard to handle with the sliding he's done coming out of these turns.
Just watching him make laps, that thing is angry. He just needs a couple of nice smooth laps, cool the tires back down, and get back after it. Nardone now out to a 2-second lead.
We're checking on Tyler Talent, Michael Boyles. Talent closing in on Michael Boyles, trying to get that 2nd place position. And then Peter Stewart, not too far behind them. I can imagine if they start to battle, then Stewart will close that gap and introduce himself. As we approach the 1/3 mark of our race, I can imagine that we start to see some drivers come in the next 10, 20 laps.
Anybody that's truly just fed up with their tires and willing to take a shot at it. Oh, Dylan hard in the wall. Dylan Johnson. He had to shift down to keep going.
As we take a look at that number 2 truck.
Yeah, it looks like he got loose out of 4 and overcorrected into the outside wall there. That truck's taking a beating, it looks like. Unfortunate.
Ryan Nardone with a 2-second lead over the field. His last lap was over a half a second slower than his best. So I can imagine there's been quite a bit of fall off on those tires.
Finally getting the tire fall off.
Nardone, I'm sure, would like to have those tires last as long as possible. Try to squeeze every bit of life out of them.
Oh, Nick Saroff trying to beat the wall down. Kenny Truton and Gudger trying to pass him.
Looks like Michael Gudger clears Seraph, work his way up to Kenny Trouton. Seraph falling 2 positions behind out of that turn.
Yeah, he got stuck to the wall, or he got loose out of 4, and then he got stuck to the wall for about a half a lap. iRacing introduced some anti-Ross Chastain measures, so if you hit that wall, it holds on to you. Oh, we got lap traffic here in front of Michael Boyles, looks like. AJ Maglio. I wonder if he just lets these guys go or if he poses a roadblock for them.
Does seem like he's sticking to the bottom of the track, letting our leaders go.
Yep. Yeah, he just pulls over and lets them go. That's mighty fine courtesy on his behalf. I'm telling you, I'm watching. I got a couple extra views on different screens, and I've seen at least 4 guys try to wreck out of the exit of turn 4. I feel like we're prone to see a yellow at any time, but I've been wrong before, and I will be again.
We do have what I believe is our first green flag pit stop. Oh. Number 2 of Dylan Johnson currently in the pits.
Oh, we took a tow. That truck was awfully beat up. He might have had a meatball or something. Oh, looks like he's parked it and just left.
Unfortunate night for Dylan Johnson. Calling it a night early. You know,
really
sometimes
is.
they just happen. You know, you race at tracks that just don't work with you.
I actually sponsored this track to Kenny Truton earlier. So he literally just bought it, and whatever laps he got in practice before we started this race is all he's really had here.
Quite impressed by Kenny. He is our biggest mover of the night so far with a +5 differential.
He's pretty solid overall in the other nights of the week that we see him racing here at with Backmarkers. I apologize for the tongue twister there.
Currently leading this 3-car pack of Kenny Trouton, Michael Gudger, and Nick Seraph.
Oh, Nick Seraph in the wall on the exit of 2 there. Nick's got himself a Steve Loving Sly Designs paint scheme, and it looks like he's trying to modify that right side a bit, lap by lap as we go here. Every time I see a picture of it, I have to say it. But sitting here watching it, I still really, really like this pink and teal 25 truck. It's very pretty. Do you have any favorite paint schemes in the field tonight?
Unbiased. Not saying this because he's the teammate, or saying this because he's my boss. But I do like that good wrench truck of Tyler DeTalent. It is one of my all-time favorite paint schemes.
Tyler is a huge Kevin Harvick fan. Always has a Harvick paint scheme.
Now that 2-second lead of Ryan Nardone is shrinking just a bit, down to 1.9 seconds. Falling off another 10th on his lap times.
I had to figure that Michael Boyles was saving a little bit of something.
As we get close to our halfway mark, I'm sure these drivers are hanging on for their lives coming around these slip corners. We've seen plenty of step outs, plenty of wall bangs. And it seems like I've noticed that these trucks they want to step out on you.
They have just enough horsepower, so on a short track and they don't have a lot of weight in the back, so on a short track they are really tail happy.
Talent has fallen off of Michael Boyles just a bit, or quite a bit, I would say. He is now 1 second behind position 2.
So I was just over here on my stats and point spreadsheet looking at our teams, just seeing who was here and who wasn't. It looks like we have the full Impact Racing team. Michael Boyles, Kenny Truden, Nick Seraph. That's the Impact Racing team. We did have the full Vintage team until Dylan Johnson pulled out of the event. Dylan Johnson, Brian Brobst, Nardone, and Bob Belshaw. And then the other 3 teams that we have registered, they've got some sparse attendance here tonight, unfortunately. I think it looks like it's just Tyler DeTalent for Evil Empire, and just Thomas Harkins for TDR, or Tyler DeTalent Racing. Tyler's out here thinking he's Denny Hamlin. He's got his 23XI style spinoff. Oh, Tom.
Bob Belshaw closing in on Nick Seraph. It seems like that tree truck group has fallen off quite a bit. Significant gap between each one, allowing Belshaw to close the gap and work his way up the field.
That Bob Belshaw, that man is a trooper. I think the first 2 races of the season, he was 2 or 3 laps down at one point in each of the different races. And he managed to get back in the lead lap in each of them through lucky dogs and other means. And he managed to wrangle a couple of top 10 finishes, which impressed me in both of those races, honestly.
I will have to agree with you. I haven't raced him against him in trucks, but I have raced against him in the late models, and it does seem like no matter what happens, he is always towards the front of the field.
He finds his way there at some point, if nothing else. He's got the never say die attitude about him.
We do have a pit in. Lap traffic, AJ Maglio coming in. Ryan Nardone holding that 1.9 second lead ahead of Michael Boyles.
Maglio decided, I am sick of this set of tires. I need some grip.
Ryan Nardone seems to be putting up consistent lap times around that 23.1, 23.2 mark. Needs to be holding his position in the field.
Kill him with consistency, kill him with kindness, kill him with laughter, I guess, you know? Live, love, laugh.
Although my tracker does show that he just jumped up over a half a second of Michael Boyles. I'm not sure if Michael Boyles got loose coming out of turn 2. But Ryan Nardone now 2.5 seconds. In a comfortable position ahead of the field.
I'm impressed with these boys holding it together for the last 50 laps or so on this long green flag run.
I'm starting to wonder if these trucks are actually getting as loose as we expected, or if they seem to be getting tighter as the race goes on.
I had assumed they would build tight, but they were horrible to start. Just in the 15 or so practice laps that I made, trying to make some laps, feel it out, see what it'd be like.
Ryan Nardone making some moves on some lap traffic. Clifton Simmons now a lap down.
Oh, there's Maglio right behind Nardone with those fresh tires.
I wonder if Nardone knows exactly how fresh Maglio's tires are. He's just going to let him by.
Nardone does have a spotter. He's on a different server with his the spotter talking to him. So we couldn't even easily yank him in for a mid-race, how's it going kind of discussion. But I'm sure whoever he's got watching over him has made him aware that that truck has fresh tires and it is creeping up on him.
I would hate to see lap traffic interfere with such a huge lead. It does seem to be cutting through this field, working on Bob Belshaw and Nick Seraph. Not too far in front of him.
Oh yeah, he's right on their tails, really. Belshaw is Nardone's teammate in more ways than one, with his Team 53 affiliation and his vintage racing that they are both a part of. Oh.
It seems like Belshaw does just let Nardone by.
Belshaw exited a little bit lower than Nardone was expecting based on that twitch.
It looks like Thomas Harkins is now in the pit.
I wonder why.
Nardone's last lap was a 23.6, now a 23.2. So still holding that low 23 mark. Martin's getting some fresh tires to work his way back into traffic.
Nick Seraph.
Right against our leader.
I was going back in time to see what happened to Tom Harkins, but looks like he was just deciding it was time for some fresh tires and some grip. Oh, Nick, hold on to it.
Ryan Nardone making a move on the inside. Nick Seraph going high.
Nick Seraph truck thinks it's a clownfish.
Right on the bumper of that 28.
However, this battling, if you can see the top of the screen, it's allowed Michael Boyles to catch up.
Yeah, Boyles now 1.2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he cut that lead in half while Nardone was dealing with Seraph and Maglio.
although his last lap was about a 1/10 of a second slower. He still does have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, that 28 got a little bit of that 28 got a little bit of free asphalt. Oh, 5-2-3, where are you going?
Nick Seraph getting loose, coming down the front stretch, saves it.
Oh boy, what a save! And like I said, I've got another. Oh, we got a wreck on the back.
Oh,
Nick Seraph got into the 37 there.
and caution is out.
I'm not gonna put on my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat on this one, but you know what I'm getting at.
It seems like Tom Harkin with those fresh tires working his way around Nick Seraph. Nick Seraph.
Oh, and we've
up to
got
the
green.
outside.
We've got pit stops.
Oh, and our leader coming in, Michael Boyles falling behind, along with Tyler Talent, Peter Stewart, Brian Brobst. Seems like fresh tires for all of our top 5. Kenny Trouton in 6th place coming in. Team staying out was Michael Gudger, Nick Seraph, Clifton Simmons. Ryan Nardone hangs on to the lead on the race out of pit lane.
I gotta put my race control hat on and address the boys on the track. Give me a second, I'll be back.
So Michael Gudger now coming in to take tires. Our top 3 staying the same with Ryan Nardone, Michael Boyles, Tyler DeTalent. Brian Brobst in 4th, moving up a spot with Peter Stewart dropping back to 5th. Kenny Trouton with a 9-second pit stop. Likely only taking those 2 right side tires. Be interesting to see. Taking those 2 right side tires does seem to free up the truck. With this track that already seems to be fairly slick, that might be hard to control.
The boys are in cheerful spirits over in the race chat here. It turns out iRacing was lying to me when I was doing some practice laps. The boys were saying they only had 110 laps of gas, so they did need a pit stop somewhere along the lines, and this was the perfect time for it.
It was. Would have been interesting to watch coming to these last 50 laps, seeing when they would come in for those tires, tires and fuel.
It's 1 to green, or I would say we could pull someone into chat. I thought it was still 2 to green.
Yeah,
Lights are out on the pace truck.
Thomas Harkins and AJ Maglia with that free pass, working the way back around the track. Ryan Nardone opting to take that inside line. Seems breaking the pattern of the first 2 cautions of the leader taking the outside. He must be confident in his abilities and hold on Michael Boyles on that huge run coming out of the backstretch.
Well, he had to do all those restarts on the bottom in the first place, so, I mean, he's got the experience down there, you know?
Pace car is in. Rounding turn 4, heading towards the restart zone.
And we're green.
And we are off, and Ryan Nardone with a
Somebody in the middle of the pack.
Boyles.
Somebody on the bottom lane in the middle of the pack didn't get going. Oh, Michael Boyle sideways. Good catch.
Michael Boyles.
Oh. Kenny Trouton spins in front of the field from 5th. And we got a Bob Belshaw in the grass as well.
Just as I mentioned, taking those 2 right side tires, very risky. cleaned up that truck quite a bit. It does seem that Bob might have just gotten loose coming out of that turn.
We
Maybe
might
avoiding
need
that
another yellow or rewind to see what happened to Bob. Looks like he just hits the brakes too hard and loses it.
crash. He said
It
I wanted
happens
join
to
in
the
on
best
fun.
of us, you know? Let's see. Let's go check in. Nick Seraph will be the lucky dog this time. So we're going to take our tinfoil hats. We're going to set them to the side. Is there anybody you want to pull into the booth to chat with while we're making some pace laps?
Why don't we pull
Somebody
in our
having
leader,
a good
Ryan
run?
Nardone?
He's unfortunately not on
you-
server with
That is
us.
right. Well,
We
how
could
about P2?
Talk
Tyler
to Tyler to Talent. All right. Yank him down. Hey, Tyler, it's the
reporting live
boys in the booth. You got us.
Yeah, what's going on?
How does that truck
We,
feel tonight, Tyler?
Slick. This
Yeah.
yeah, this is crazy, man. Lack of banking and just trying to put the power down, getting out of the corners is it's pretty tough.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few trucks seem to be slipping and sliding coming out of these turns. Kissing those walls on their way out.
Yeah, I've done. Well, as they would say, probably have my Darlington stripe already, but yeah, just trying to keep it out of the wall and just trying to keep pace with these first three, what was the top two, Nardone and Boyles.
So you've been
Nardone's
number
super
3 all
fast.
along.
Yeah, Boyles Boyles did a little dirt track in there on the restart, and that allowed me to get by. But yeah, just gonna try to keep it steady for these last 30-ish laps, and we'll just see what we can do.
All right, thank you, Tyler. We'll put you back with your team.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right. Let's get let's check in on our pace truck. See if we got time to talk to someone else. It looks like we do. I'm gonna grab a hold of old Nick Seraph because he's always a good chat.
Right.
What the fuck? Why did you tell me to pass Bob?
Oh God. Hey Nick, it's the boys in the booth. You should
Yeah.
have the lucky dog.
Yeah, I got it. My bad.
It's the risk we take when we grab people at random. You never know
Yeah.
what they're gonna be in the middle of.
Yeah, Timbers seemed to flare inside these trucks on the short.
Oh, I wasn't temper. I was just confused on why it told me to pass Bob and then let me go right, or let him right back by.
It should be having you beat a lucky dog, I would think. No?
Yeah, it literally just came up as you pulled me away. Hence the F-bomb. Sorry, peoples.
That's right. You better apologize to your mother and go to church with her on Sunday.
Well, she don't go. My wife goes.
Ah, well, with the wife then.
Yeah, maybe.
So how's the race been treating you? Except for you got in the wall a couple times. We're gonna let you go as soon as you finish because we're about to go green.
No, you're good. It's been good. Just I'm not good at this track, so it's hard for me to get consistent. But I'm just trying to survive.
All right, I'm gonna toss you back up real quick because it's time to go.
Yes, sir.
Apologies to the folks at home and to Nick's family. You heard it here. He's gonna go to church with you on Sunday.
Ryan Nardone again opting for that inside line on the restart. Quite significant jumping.
Talent in the wall out of 2. Harkins also in the wall behind them. We got a yellow.
And we are under caution. Yeah, it looks like Nick Seraph and Kenny Troughton making contact coming out of turn 2, spinning the 25 around.
Oh, Nick. We got a better replay now. Oh, Kenny is all kinds of
25.
not handling well.
I didn't see if he took tires on that last pit stop, but I know he only took 2 on that initial stop. So I'm sure that truck
It is unfortunate.
very loose. Those inside tires likely have quite a bit of wear on them now. With 30 laps to go, our driver is getting a little loose, getting a little antsy, trying to finish this race out, clawing for positions on their home stretch of this race. We have had 2 relatively quick in succession cautions. These tires are our leaders.
Oh,
Not
we got a
facing
lucky
whole lot of
dog
wear.
taking off. AJ Maglio flying around. That means we got 2 to go, I guess.
Does put Maglio back on the lead lap, currently sitting in 8th position. Just ahead.
Sorry, I left you hanging there. I had race control. Somebody called me up.
Hey, duty calls. Maglio.
We're gonna put eyes. We're gonna put eyes on a restart. So we'll keep an eye on things. Make sure no funny business.
Maglio into the pit, taken 2 and 4 tires, getting that fresh set. He said, "I am tired of spinning. Give me some grip."
Well, hopefully he's tired of it. That right there could be the move that pushes him to the front. You never know.
He is still on the lead lap.
I gotta.
Ryan Nardone with that preferred inside line. He's been treating him well in these past few restarts.
No.
So pace car is off around in turn 3. Approaching this Geico restart zone. And we are green with Ryan Nardone. Another good jump. Heading into turn 1. Highlighted talent holding off that outside line from Michael Boyles. Boyles with a bit of a run coming down the backstretch. Our biggest mover of the night, Brian Brobst, sitting in 4th, hunting down both our top 2 and 3.
Yeah, I had me a little bit of a oopsie just now with race control. I accidentally end-aligned Nardone instead of the 25. I had to fix that real quick. We're professionals here, I tell you what. Oh, Nick Seraph losing it back there on his own. And somebody went with him. Harkins.
Nick Seraph on the inside of that 25 of Kenny Troughton. They seem to be battling all night.
Yeah. I think he just gets in the gas too hard and sends it around.
Seraph gets a little loose. Gets some help.
Almost. No, I don't think he got hit. He might have, but with netcode, I think he just spins to react. Kind of like what happened to Belshaw, to 37 Harkins there. A little bit of a tail wiggle.
Just gets loose coming out of the corner. It's so easy to do.
He might have murdered that thing right there. Over here in the chat, we got people asking if we want to give Nick Seraph some sensitivity training. Naughty. You like to assume that, all right? He could be supporting anybody. Oh, okay. I'm not watching the YouTube stream. I always forget that we have James here only in my ear, but not in the ear guys. So I sound like a crazy person.
I don't know.
But
what
I
you're talking
promise
about,
there is
Robert. I think
somebody.
we just
Somebody
talked
is
to
telling me things, and then I'm having a conversation with air.
As we creep up on that 20 to go mark, plenty of cautions in these last few laps.
Yeah, we've had some yellows that've been breeding.
Yeah, something
like rabbits.
yellows called yellows.
Yeah.
With the success of caution, doesn't seem to be any major changes in our lineup. Ryan Nardone still our leader.
I know. Brian Brobst sent me a DM. He said, "Hopefully, we keep having yellows, because then I can just pace and get a good finish."
Hey, he is our biggest mover of the night with a +5 differential coming from 9th to 4th. And he has been hanging out with Tyler DeTalent and Michael Boyles on these past couple of restarts, so very likely that he could work his way to a podium here tonight.
And we can reenact last week's interview where he had to thank himself, I guess, for sponsoring series.
Lights on the pace truck are off. Ryan Nardone once again choosing that inside line. Tyler DeTalent in 2nd, Michael Boyles in 3rd, Brian Brobst in 4th, and Michael Gudger rounding out our top 5.
And real quick ad read, Brobst Enterprises is a father-son trucking company based in the Delaware area. They handle hauling various things with in the trucking industry in the tri-state area. They used to go further, but they try to stay home, or closer to home now. You always got to get the ad read before you go green, right?
Yeah, pace truck is off. Ryan Nardone into the restart zone.
Oh, Kenny Truton and Nick Seraph in the back tangle. They straighten them out and keep going.
Yeah, Ryan Nardone in the lead.
As the ghost in my ear lets me know, Kenny Truton has the freshest tires on track. We got Michael Boyles and DeTalent side by side for 2nd. Nardone is scooting away bit by bit.
Yeah, pulling away currently 0.7 of a second ahead of him. And setting the fastest lap of the race so far at 22.24.
Oh no, DeTalent loses it at a 2. Oh no. John is going to be so sad.
DeTalent just getting loose at a turn 2, making contact with Boyles and just sending them both into the grass.
Yeah, he's come across and he's apologized to Michael Boyles. Michael is okay with it. Oddly okay with it.
Michael Boyles is one of the most upbeat people I've ever interacted with. It seems like no matter what, he is always in a good mood.
Him and his twin brother Adam, they're some of the nicest guys. They actually just got their licenses not too long ago. They turned 16 and they're terrorizing on the North Carolina highways. So if you're in that area, be wary.
Thanks for the heads up. I am in that area. But congratulations to both the Boyles brothers. The world is now open up to you. It seems like Clifton Simmons with a free pass back on the lead lap. Tyler DeTalent currently in the pits. The 15-second stop, likely taking new tires in that free repair.
Fresh tires on a fasty.
But he does have his work cut out for
Unfortunately,
him.
15 to go, probably less when we actually take the green.
But the
So do we want to
positive
take the
side-
risk? Pull someone else down here to chat with us?
Let's pull in Brian, see what he has to say with his results so far.
All right. Hey, Brian, it's Corey and Robert in the booth. You got us?
Voila.
We figured you
Brian, you
got
are
2 laps
currently-
of pacing to go. You got time to chat.
Strategize. Strategize is like, just hang on.
No, I said time to chat, not
Oh,
strategize.
time chat. Oh, right, okay. What's up?
Brian, you are currently tied for our biggest mover of the night at a +7. Work your way from 9th to 2nd. How do you feel right now?
I feel, I don't know, pretty good, pretty good. The car, like I said, just been real patient, trying not to spin out. I almost did earlier in the race, but I don't think I have anything for Ryan Cordone, but Michael Bull's going to be a handful, but I'm just trying to survive. If I get a top 3 podium, that would be awesome.
I mean, as your dad used to tell us, you got to squeeze that trigger here tonight.
Yeah.
You can't crush that egg under the gas pedal.
Yeah, no, I almost did earlier in the stump. Hey, this track's really like driving on ice, but
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the entire field. Many trucks coming out of turns 2 and 4, just losing that back end.
yeah,
Seems to be very difficult to keep it under you.
on the long run, I felt pretty comfortable with the run. I was able to diamond the corners out, but well, we'll see what we got.
All right, I'll toss you back over into the chat. Get yourself refocused and get these last 15 laps in.
Oh yeah, now if I wreck, I'm gonna blame you. I lost my focus.
It's all Corey's fault.
So with coming to 12 laps to go, Ryan Nardone on the inside, Ryan Nardone. All of our drivers jockeying for position in this last stretch of laps. Ryan Nardone entering the restart zone.
Beautiful restart out of Nardone. Held his pace nice and solid. No
Ryan
games.
not far behind him.
You know, if Nardone was on server with us, I'd almost accuse him of counting it down, but he's not here to tell him anything.
Oh, and it looks like Troughton again getting loose at a turn.
Oh, he spins
around.
into the outside wall.
Caution comes out with 11 to go.
He almost had it saved and overcorrected it, I guess.
Yeah, Kenny Troughton coming at that turn, putting
Kenny
down too much
Troughton.
power in that truck.
Just
Almost
He-
saves it.
amazingly, he didn't hit the wall there. Oh,
Oh, Gudger and Maglio makes
Yeah.
some contact on that wall. Michael Gudger coming into pit, likely to fix some damage, take some tires.
Gudger might have got a meatball on that. Let me go over here and check. Yeah, he did.
Gudger with significant damage, having to bring it into the pits.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh,
It didn't look
that
like
was
that
like-
big of a hit.
So for a second, I thought Gudger was exiting. Not sure if he's blinking. We'll check back on him in a bit. But AJ Maglio working his way up to top 5. Taking that free pass, taking those fresh tires, seems to be really be working out for him right now. Slowly making his way up the field. Tyler to talent after that unfortunate spin on that last caution, up to 7th position. And Brian Brobst with pretty impressive restart. Holding his
That
own
was
against
really
our
good.
leader, Ryan Nardone. We'll see if he can have repeat results on those restarts. Have an interesting last stretch of 8 laps.
Somebody's reporting rain, but iRacing doesn't have rain yet.
Our drivers working with each other, checking for damage.
You got to do something while we make pace laps, right? If the lights stay on, maybe we talk to Michael Boyles real quick. Nope, we are 1 to green.
Lights are off. Ryan Nardone keeping that tried and true inside line. Brian Brobst on the outside.
Stay.
Michael Boyles in 3rd, Peter Stewart in 4th, and AJ Maglio in 5th. Ryan Nardone entering the restart zone.
Ring, 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 ring.
Not a good jump by Nardone. Brian Brobst hanging right to his outside. Unable to close the door. Brian Brobst coming down the backstretch.
There's one thing I know, it's that Brian is still bitter about the season finale at Las Vegas last year, or last season rather, for Backmarkers, where he could have won, but he had to pit, come into the white, because he ran out of gas. Oh, and Nardone wrecks!
Oh, and Nardone is around.
Oh, no!
On the front stretch.
Oh, and that truck is destroyed.
Such a good run for so long.
Oh,
ended abruptly.
Oh, no.
Fighting for that top position, just too much power, losing it and hitting hard on that inside wall.
That truck is big time hurt.
What a way to end such a, so far, fantastic night for Nardone.
Coming to our first green-white checker of the 3 that we have in the session. Oh. There comes Gudger and Nardone down pit road for a little bit of repair work.
Yeah, Nardone coming down the pit lane, coming down to fix that truck after that hit. Michael Gudger also in pit. No fast repair, seems to be taking the long repair.
He's just going to grab some optionals and move on with his day, I guess.
Yeah, at this point in the race, there's not much more you can do.
On the bright side, unfortunately, with the lower turnout tonight, we only have 11 trucks left on the lead lap. So there's strong chances for a top 10 for Nardone and Gudger still.
Yeah, right. Brian Nardone, currently our points leader for the Brobst Truck Series.
Brian just come across the radio and called out the outside for the restart.
Yeah, it seemed to work for him pretty well on that restart as a second place truck. I can only imagine how well it will work for him as lead, controlling that restart.
Alright, Brian has maxed out his positions gained. He can no longer gain positions.
Yeah, sitting
At
on
plus
top
8.
of the scoreboard, his biggest mover is in jeopardy. Clifton Simmons at +5, AJ Bagley at +6. Threat of losing it. But I'm sure he's not too worried about that at the moment.
But that is not the award that pays.
As he currently sits in first with 3 laps to go. As we attempt our first overtime restart. Michael Gudger still in the pit. Now working his way out.
Does that cost him a lap, or is he...
I think he is still on the lead lap, thankfully. So, still a chance for him to work his way up. The ladder.
He stopped twice for repairs then.
Well, let's take a look at position number 5, the 29 of Tyler DeTalent, working his way back up after that spin.
That is a solid recovery after the incident.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy about that.
He's got to be thrilled to have the fast repair on hand.
As our pace truck enters pit lane, our leader Brian Brobst rounding turn 3 into 4.
Holding them nice and steady at a nice smooth 50 miles an hour.
Entering the
green, green.
restart zone for our first overtime restart. Brian Brobst with a significant lead. Holding that
was a
outside
good
line
restart.
on 1 and 2.
Oh, Nick Seraph thinking he's Ross
Seraph into the
Chastain, just
wall.
riding the wall.
Loose.
Oh! Just misses Peter Stewart's back bumper when he slides down.
Oh, it looks like we have a spin on the back stretch.
Wreck on the back. Hopefully it's
The 44,
Not
Bob
Nardone.
Belshaw.
Nardone stays clean.
Looks like it might have been a
Truton
little
might
bit
have
of
tagged
contact.
him. Oh,
Oh,
Gudger
Gudger.
again. No.
Just adding to that optional timer.
Oh, Gudger got another meatball. I think he's done.
Focusing here on the 25. 25 trying to make a move on the 44. Seems to clip the rear bumper of the 44. Here on the onboard on the backstretch. Making that move towards the outside, just a little too close. Coming off the wall, collecting Gudger into the wall. And Gudger taking a toe to the pits. Significant damage on that right side.
Oh, yeah. Truton got in the back of the 44 there. As a Backmarkers admin, Gudger is upset. Then this I know to be true because he has filed a protest ticket already and the race isn't even over.
Busting out the laptop in the truck.
That's right. Like he's a state trooper.
He's going to have to get this paperwork done now. It cannot wait. I'm sure he's not too happy. Continuous contact from multiple cars throughout the race.
I think he's upset.
Repairs.
I think he's most upset from the incident where Kenny Truton spun on the front and brought out the yellow. And I think Maglio got into him at the exact same time as the yellow came for Kenny spinning. Yeah.
Brian Brobst opting to take that outside line again.
Uh-oh.
Michael Boyle was
look
trying
at
to
that.
convince Brian to take that inside line.
You got to do something, you know?
Lights are off on the pace car. Brian Brobst holding that outside line that seemed to work very well for him on that last restart.
The 11 of Brian Brobst, he's calling for raindrops on his windshield. He said he doesn't want to do this restart. He just wants to take the checkers. Oh. Coming down to take the green.
Brian Brobst rounding the final corner on our second of 3 restarts, overtime restarts.
Green, green, green.
Brian Brobst with another good jump off the start.
He's not jumping, I don't think, watching these restarts. Just looks like the other guys are trying to file in, or... Oh, we got somebody in the wall. It's Nick Seraph in third in the wall. White flag is out, so the next flag ends it. Let's see what happens.
Brian Brobst and Michael Boyle battling for that top position. Coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch. Michael Boyle's not enough of the run to get on the inside, and Brian Brobst heading into 3. Diving down on the inside.
Boyle sends it. Does he have
Holding
anything?
onto the outside line, coming out of turn 4. And Brian Brobst
gets it.
will take the checkered flag here at IRP.
I guess he can't blame us for cursing him, right?
Oh, Brian Brobst with a fantastic finish. Working his way up from 9th position. Plus 8 pass differential to take the checkered flag.
With Nick Seraph on our podium tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, with the final podium of Brian Brobst, Michael Boyles, and Nick Seraph. As we watch Brian Brobst burn it down.
Yeah. Send out a reminder to get these guys.
Okay. As we see.
There we go. We got our podium.
First, second, and third. Lining up for that fantastic podium screenshot.
That'll make a pretty picture on the Facebook. If you guys aren't following us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/backmarkersracing. And then, give old Team Goon Squad here a follow that are giving us the broadcast. As the ghost yells yes in my ear from very excited. All right, let's get these interviews going, right?
Let's pull them in.
All right, there's our race winner, Brian Brobst.
Who, me?
Yeah, he's
My
gonna
first-
be.
It's my
He's
first
gonna be putting
podium.
It's gonna be putting the medal back around his neck this week, right?
Yeah. Did not see that coming when I put you guys last. I was like, Ryan Nardone got this in the bag. I'm not going to try. Timed out the restart just right, and he got a little loose. I'm like, uh-oh. It's like,
We all said uh-oh.
Checkers, yeah. I said we had a couple of green-white checkers, and I had Michael Bowles on me. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, he was hunting you down on the last lap.
Not to mention all that rain you were talking about, right?
It was wet. The track was horrible. I don't know what y'all were doing. I'm just saying. Yeah, I was just driving very conservative, make sure I don't spin my tires off of turn 4. I know the Talon did that. That's unfortunate because he had a second place run going. And I was a 5th place car. Just some good luck finally going my way. I don't see the bullseye on my truck. Nope. We're good. Alrighty.
I would say you were consistently towards the top of the field for most of the race.
The modified scheme doesn't have any bullseyes on it, so.
Yeah. Sounds weird. I always thought there was one, but yeah, that was pretty awesome. Like I said, we had those Greenway checkers and Michael Bowles. He's a handful, and I'm like, I'm just gonna make sure I take it easy, make sure I get my nose pointed down, and take it easy off the corners. Don't get a little assy. But yeah, it was all good. I thank Michael Bowles for keeping it clean, and we were joking back and forth under caution there. I was like, he was like, "Do I have a mark on my nose?" I was like, "Yeah, there's one, but let's keep it at that one, all right?" Let's keep it.
Also heard some bargaining from Michael Boyles trying to convince you to take that inside line.
Yeah, he did offer me $20. I said, tempting, but no. I was like, but yeah, yeah, that was fun. That was just tons of fun. This year was like a handful of a track, so glad to finally get one.
Well,
So if
congratulations,
anybody's going to
Brian.
give us the great ad read for Brobst Enterprises, the guy that owns the thing is going to be one.
Oh, ad read. Oh, on behalf of Brobst Enterprises, I'd like
You
to
want to
thank
tell us
everyone
what you
for.
do?
Oh, we got trucks. We haul cement up and down the eastern shore. So any cement work you see doing is probably hauled by us. But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys in the booth for broadcasting this. Robert, of course, and yeah,
Corey.
that was just awesome race. Corey, I don't know the names. I need to learn y'all's names, man. I'm bad. Let's see what we got here. We got James. Hi, James. And we got Corey.
He's the ghost
Hi,
that's in our
Corey.
ear.
Oh,
Yeah, he's silent to the crowd, but he's in our ear.
oh. Well,
Except for when we
give him
talk about
some
him, then he goes
recognition.
quiet, period.
Yeah, right.
Well, congratulations, Brian. If I'm not mistaken, is this your first Backmarkers win?
This is my first podium finish, period.
Oh,
So yeah.
congratulations.
I thought you got a third at Daytona.
Nope. Oh, I did get second. Never mind. I'm a liar. I had second at ARCA. Yeah.
Oh, we have to mark that from the record books.
Yeah, I forgot
Well,
about that.
well, congratulations on the #1 finish for the night, taking home that checkered flag, and overall, again, congratulations. What a great race.
All right,
Thank you.
let's go grab a hold of Michael Boyles. Hey, Michael, it's the boys in the booth.
Hey, what's up? How are y'all?
We were going to grab you earlier under one of the yellows, but we ran out of time.
Hey, it's all good. I heard Nick put on.
How'd that race treat you?
Pretty good. It was a blast either way, but who was it, Ryan? Ryan was super quick, and I tried to catch up to him, but thank the Lord he spun out, so it was just between me and Brian there at the end, and I didn't know what else I could do besides either run high in the final corner or give him a little nudge, but when I give it a little nudge, I usually lay someone out, so I didn't want to do that tonight, so I'll take a second place, thank the Lord we even were up there, so yeah.
Yeah, Brian, very thankful that you kept those marks on the nose of your truck to a minimum.
Yes, I told him I should have put a scratch on there, but it's okay.
So what was it like driving through that rain at the end?
Oh, it was
a few drivers complained
hazardous.
about drops on the track.
Hazardous. It was all over the place.
You seem to handle it very well.
It even started to snow a little bit. I mean, it was all over the place. We had a dust storm. It was everywhere, but it's all right. We somehow made it through.
Hey, we run through every type of biome here in the Backmarkers Racing League, but congratulations, Michael, on the second place finish.
Thank you. Hey, thank you all for streaming. We always appreciate y'all for streaming, and it's always fun to watch. Go back and watch the races and hear y'all commentate. And yeah, thank y'all.
All right. When you go back through and watch, just know that it was me and Corey's first time doing it ourselves, and
it's all right.
We're not professionals.
Hey, you're professional in my heart. It's all good. Yeah, we
thank you for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll let you get back to the chat, and we'll grab a hold of Nick Seraph. Hopefully, he's not in the middle of a tirade.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good.
Hey, Nick, welcome back.
Hey, I'll try to keep it PG this time.
That was what we were saying as we were putting Michael back to the Impact chat there. It was, hopefully he's not in the middle of a tirade this time.
No. I was good. I was being good. I was being quiet and waiting.
Probably got a text from your mom.
No, actually, a text from my brother. Yeah, it was pretty funny, but I apologize for that. That was my bad.
Well, Nick, I will say, throughout the entire race, we saw you make contact with that outside wall, but fighting through all of that, managed to finish P3. How does that feel?
Actually, really good. This is not a good track for me normally, so it was. I came in with very low expectations, and basically was just trying to hang around and gather as much points as I could, and surprisingly, ended up pretty well.
I've got
Yeah,
my
what are your
race feed. I've got my race feed paused on this podium shot, and I don't know if Steve's going to be real happy with you modifying his paint scheme like this.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to him about it. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Steve does get a little cranky with his paint schemes getting scratched up.
Yeah, well, I mean, he knew what he was getting when he made me a paint scheme. Come on now. In all reality.
He should have just painted it with the wall marks.
Yes. You should have just added them in already because they're going to be there.
So, Nick, we did have 2 overtime restarts. What were your thoughts on those final 2 restarts, holding off both Peter Stewart and Tyler DeTalent?
Well, Peter's a teammate of mine at Impact, so we were I was trying to be nice to him and, race him clean. Tyler and I have had some few run-ins, but we do run good together, so I wasn't going to rough anybody up. I was just basically just trying to maintain my spot. So they did have me nervous though, because they're both really good on restarts. So I was hoping Brian didn't spin his tires in front of me and we both could get going and maybe get a P2 or battle it out between Brian and myself. But it was it was an overall good race. I actually had a lot of fun at a track that is not one of my strong suits.
Always a good feeling when you get a strong finish at one of those undesirable tracks. Well, I will
For
say
sure.
congratulations
Yeah,
hanging on to that top 3. Is there anyone you would like to thank heading out?
I appreciate it. I know my mom's probably watching, so my mom and dad. I know my brother's watching out in Cali on the military base. So what's up, bro? Hopefully had a good entertaining race for you guys, and hope to do it again next week.
All right.
Thank you.
And then we'll get we're going to post up the results to the Backmarkers Facebook page here in the morning like we usually do. It. I usually schedule it to go off at 9 a.m. the day after the race, as long as I'm not in a bad mood and forget. So today being what it is, happy for Brian, happy for everybody in the podium, really. A really good show.
Yeah, such a fantastic race.
I'll have
we'll go over our final results.
That's right. I'll have
Brian Brobst, our winner.
That's
Brian
right.
Brobst, our winner at number 1. Michael Boyles, position 2. Nick Seraph rounding out our podium with Peter Stewart and Tyler DeTalent in the top 5. Ryan Nardone working his way back up to 6th position. AJ Maglio, Clifton Simmons, Kenny Troughton, Bob Belshaw, Tom Harkins, Michael Gudger, and Dylan Johnson rounding out the field.
All right.
And on behalf of Backmarkers Racing League, I am Corey Harville with my partner, Robert Brobst, and we are signing off. We will see you next week for 125 laps at Iowa Speedway.
Oh, is that next week?